and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. Welcome to part 2 out of 3. Yeah, I have decided that there's going to be 3 parts to this. I have been editing all day and I was like, you know what? This needs 3 parts. There's too much in this build to even have just 2 parts. This video is at 15 minutes and there's another 15 minutes for the next one. So I think it works out pretty well. It's like 15, 15, 15. I tried to cut it down as much as I could. I know it's probably gonna get annoying at some point where you're watching me build something and I go somewhere else. I'm sorry. It's kind of like what I usually do. I mentioned this in my Encanto video. If you haven't already actually checked that out, I did mention that I'm the type of person that will kind of go all over the place. I will go from like a bathroom to the track outside. I will go through everything, and it's just the way it is. I'm sorry. It's just the way that I built. If that bothers you, if it doesn't, good, and I'm sorry. But yeah, we are working on this and it's starting to come together. I do a lot of changes. I don't know if you'll see that particularly in this part, especially when it comes to what I'm working on currently. I do change a lot of the colors and I do change a lot of the windows in here. It's definitely gonna change to like a darker brown. I think towards the end of this video particularly, you will see me change the doors to a brown. I wanted to at first put it at like a green because when I was looking at all of the anime photos of all the schools, a lot of them had like green doors. So I wanted to put like the green doors in there, but it just didn't work because nothing else matched with it. You know, I could have had like the white windows, but it didn't really work. So I decided in the very end to change a lot of the colors. It still looks good. I'm really happy with it. The only thing that I found kind of annoying with this build is these particular lights that I hang around like the entire school. It only shines right down, like just straight down, not around. I know that's the whole point of those type of lights, but it kind of sucks when I'm trying to put it all around the school, you know? But it's okay. I do put like those tiny little lights all over the place to make it look a little bit brighter, just to have it kind of like light up just a little bit, you know, just to make it a little bit more bright, because in anime, you know, everything is pretty much bright unless you're watching Attack on Titan or something, which I will also note, I couldn't finish it. I couldn't even like start it. I think I watched like 2 episodes and then someone got eaten and I was like, nope, that's it, I'm done. I'm laying it down. I'm not watching this anymore. I have a very weak stomach when it comes to like very graphic things. I can watch someone like, you know, get like stabbed in a movie, but if there's like a blood splatter everywhere and it's too graphic, then I'm like, that's where I draw the line, you know? So what is your favorite anime or cartoon or movie, if you ever watch any of that kind of stuff? I didn't think I would ever get into anime because when I watched it I was like, I can't watch it in Japanese. I'm not a fast reader, which is funny because I want to become a voice actor myself. I've always had that dream since I was a little kid, and I've gotten better, but definitely it's a little bit weird when I'm just trying to enjoy it, or something that I've watched like The Disastrous Life of Psyche K. If anyone has ever watched that, I love that show, and I watched the first season in dub and the second season, and I think there's a 3rd season as well. It's also in three like after that, like the 2nd season and I think the 3rd is in just Japanese, and I stopped watching because I couldn't watch it in Japanese. But I started to kind of get there. I started to watch it just so I can actually like push myself into get better at reading stuff fast, because lately I've actually started to talk to a couple of people in Toronto, and they're gonna kind of push me, or like kind of help me in that direction. They're casters and stuff like that, cast directors, sorry. And I sent them a couple of like my homemade demos, and they were slightly impressed. So it was it was a good day for me. I was really happy. Just to even get my foot through the door is amazing. I have had such a hard time trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. It's definitely something that I try and push away from because I'm just so scared. And I think a lot of you could probably relate to that, because now in a day and age, like, what are we doing? You know, like, so many people go from high school and they know exactly what they want to do, exactly what they want to be, and that's scary for me. I don't know what I want to do, you know? So when I went over and I found this director in Toronto, I was so like excited, because like now at some point in my life, this is actually gonna maybe help me, you know? Who knows to say that I won't actually get there, but if I keep trying, I will, you know, one day, you know? So this is something that I'm excited for. I know this is probably a bunch of like ramble to you, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited, and I wanna get closer to you guys. There's a lot of people who watch my videos who comment, and they're so sweet and they're so nice. And I want to build a community in here, you know? I want to get to know every single one of you. There's a lot of people that message me on Instagram, and I talk to them, like, I give them advice, you know? Like, I just want to get to know everyone. I used to be on TikTok. Don't look for it, please. Don't look for it. It's so silly, but I got like 130,000 people on there. And I was so like grateful, because I worked so hard to like try and get there, and it took me a year, and I was so like excited. And some of the videos that would pop off, there was like thousands of people that would comment, and I would try and like respond to everyone, because I just love meeting people. I just like getting to know people. So, you know, I want to share my experiences with you guys. I know it's not everyone's cup of tea, but I'd really like to get to know everyone. So I think this is kind of like a good way of doing that, letting you guys kind of know, get a little bit into my life. I obviously don't want to share everything, but I do want to kind of share some of my interests with you guys besides outside of The Sims. I definitely want to get somewhere in my life where I know where I'm going and I know what I want to do. I feel like I'm in a job interview or something. Being like, oh yeah, I love this job and this is what I want to do and this is why I'm a good fit for your company. But like, but really though, it's something that I want to share with you guys if you don't mind, and I would love to get to know you guys as well over time. And yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun. But on and off with me rambling, oh my god, I could talk for hours. That's kind of a lie though. I can't speak for hours because then my jaw starts to like not like, it starts to like reject me for some reason. I was talking about this with my boyfriend, but like my mouth doesn't want to like work after a couple like minutes if I'm talking constantly. So this is me trying, but I do like stop the video a lot. You obviously wouldn't know, but I pause a lot to kind of like chill out my mouth because I don't know, it's so weird. I don't want to pull like a Justin Trudeau and talk moistly. Ooh. It's so gross. But anyway, you see that I have done a lot. I have done this is kind of like the culinary area, and then we have the two classrooms right behind it, and then I think this is kind of like a little office for like the student council, which I think would be kind of fun. And I had so many rooms that I just didn't know what to do with them, you know, so I tried to add as much as I could. In the next video, obviously obviously you will see a lot more being put together, but we're kind of just mainly working on like the cafeteria, the office in the front. I also did, what did I do? Like that nurse's office. I wanted to make it a lot bigger because I see in a lot of animes and stuff like that where people go to like the infirmary and there's like a lot more beds, and I think it would make more sense that there's a lot more beds, just because a lot of, you know, people get hurt. You're a teenager, you're being reckless, you're gonna do silly things, you know, so you're obviously gonna get hurt. I did that a lot too. I'll tell you actually a story. When I was in high school, we were in science class, okay? We were in science class, and our teacher decided to go outside and play like a red light, green light type of thing. But it was like you run. Like you ain't the and then kind of go and then stop. No, this is this isn't like the Squid Games. This is like you run. So I was running, right? And there was this guy, and I know who he was, but he was a lot taller than me. He was a bigger dude, and I banged into him. And keep in mind, I'm like 5'5" at the time. Like I still am. But like I'm smaller than this dude, right? And he bangs into me and I fall on the floor and I hit my head on the pavement, on the tarmac, and I got a concussion. And it was the worst concussion because I didn't realize that I had a concussion. And then the next day when I came into school, I felt gross. Like I didn't know I had a concussion. I just knew that I hit my head and it hurt. And I went to school and I felt awful, and I was like, "Oh my God." And I kept feeling like I was going to like get sick. And then I went to the hospital, and then they took my temperature and it was obviously warm, and they told me, they're like, "Yo, you got a concussion, kid. Like why did you go to bed?" Because it felt so weird when I went to sleep the day of when I hit my head, you guys. It was the weirdest feeling on my head. I have gotten a bunch of concussions before. I've got like 4. Because I used to work as a martial arts instructor, so I worked with a lot of people like that. So I did get hit quite a bit. I'm very prone to getting having accidents, you know, like, and not necessarily they have to be hard, because once you have a concussion, it's a lot easier to get another one. So a little weird tilt to my head and your girl got a concussion. So I've had like 4 or 5, and when I was sitting in the hospital, like my shoulders up were like hot. Like they were hot. Like I felt like I was on fire. I was with my dad, and we were sitting together, and I'm like, "Dad, like feel my forehead. Does it feel warm to you? Is it?" like a guy touching his collar, like, "Is it hot in here?" I'm like, "No, it is." I felt like I was on fire, and it was the weirdest feeling in the world, and I will never forget it. But I was fine, I think. A lot of people could tell you otherwise, but I think I'm fine. But yeah, so here you guys can see on with that weird story. This is gonna be kind of the end of the road. We're gonna be kind of making this music room, and then we're gonna be stopping. So I just want to say thank you all so much for watching. Please stay tuned for the next couple of parts that will be next week. So the day you're seeing this will be on the third day. You'll see it on the Thursday, and then it will be on the next Monday and the Thursday after that. But I hope you all enjoy. Maybe consider subscribing, liking, commenting, and I will see you all later. Bye, guys.